You doing? Ron here. What's going on, everyone? Ron here. Tech tips ago. Donut.finance. Been a while since I did a live. Doing a live on Twitter. Haven't done a live on Twitter yet, so testing out the space. Let me see if I could see comments for anyone that jumps on. Give me 1 second. Comments. Here we go. We are live. Let me move this over. Testing out the space. Let me see if I can. Shout out to Tassie Boy. What's going on, Tassie Boy? We're doing a live. Tassie Boy's in my private group, and his bags are pumping, along with Crypto.com. Crypto.com's Cronos is pumping. Cronos is pumping like crazy. Anyways, I was telling a lot of my friends, I'm like, you got to get into Crypto.com early. And I was just telling them, I'm like, look, check out Cronos. Look what they just announced. They announced a partnership with Google. So that was big news. Crypto.com was huge news for the Google Cloud innovation. Tuning in from YouTube. Cool. Yeah, I'm streaming on Twitter, trying out X for the first time, and I'm on YouTube Live as well. So shout out to Kieran. Anyway, so I was telling a lot of my friends about Cronos, and I'm like, get in. Because if you look at the roadmap of what they just announced, and a lot of people aren't reading the news about crypto.com, right? A lot of people are still out of the market because altcoins haven't really rallied. It's just Bitcoin. And the inflow is just mostly from institutions, but obviously like because of the pair, like Bitcoin to whatever pair or USDT to pair, the other pair goes up, right? So we're pumping and people are too late to the news to crypto. Is it late now at 21 cents? I don't know. Because I was telling them like buy in at like when it pumped to, I think it went to 12 cents or 10 cents. I'm like, look, on the roadmap, it actually says stocks, derivatives, Cronos or CRO ETF. So I was just like, man, get in. Get in. Even if you want like to just be into Cronos or CRO for like the short term for like 3 months and until they announce that ETF and then play it out by ear. Like once you see the ETFs, how much response it gets, because who knows like how it might react, because the Ethereum ETF didn't do so well, but I think because Bitcoin had their ETF that did so well, expectations were, like maybe it was too high and an ETH ETF didn't do too well. But now you got Cronos. Cronos is like, it's different with Cronos because Cronos, you got 100 million users. So, man, it's crazy. Like, you look at it, it's just like, and this is true adoption. Like, okay, I'm not saying that every other chain is shit, but a lot of stuff out there is fluff. You know what I mean? Like, you got chains saying that we're gonna do this. They promise the world, etc. But when you look at Cronos and CRO, the user base itself has 100 million users, and they're actually like tangible products. It's an actual card, and I use the card and the utility, and that's why like when I bought CRO, I bagged up like heavy in June of 2023 when Cronos was 5 cents. There was a lot of fear in the market, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta buy this. I can buy this shit fast. It's almost like at ICO day, not ICO days. It was like I think ICO days was like two pennies, but it went from what all time high 78 cents, and in the summer of 2023, I saw it go down to 5 or 4 cents. And I remember I was in Las Vegas playing a tournament at the World Series of Poker, and I'm like, and I was paying for my World Series of Poker ticket with Qcoin. I was transferring some of my USDT from Qcoin to my CRO card, and I saw the price of CRO, and I'm like, let me empty out my Qcoin account and buy everything like Cronos. So, anyways, I'm so glad I did that because now I'm looking at Cronos, 21 cents. So, man, that was so Cronos is one of my bigger bags, and shout out to my brother because my brother's like he's the one who got me into like loaded lions, the Cronos chain. Shout out to Wade out there too. So Crypto Wade, one of my partners for Donut.finance. Shout out to Vamsy. So Wade made millions on Cronos chain. So like when everything kind of goes new, like you've got AVAX. So what's hot out there is the DEX, like which was Trader Joe. Solana was hot. The biggest DEX was Radium. So you play a lot of meme coins, a lot of whatever new coins that go on that chain. Anyways, shout out to Wade. Wade made a shitload of money on Cronos. He told me about Cronos chain. He's like, you got to get on this. Started to do a lot more research, and I'm like, well, I always knew that it was owned by crypto, but I wanted to see how many transactions and the total like TVL that Cronos was doing, and that's what kind of made my decision easier because it's similar to BNB or Binance BEP20 chain, like PancakeSwap. If you've got like so many chains that are going live onto the Cronos platform and you're growing in TVL and you just started, that's adoption right there. On top of that, like if you look at what Cronos is doing, and I've said this in my videos like before, like they've got, what do they have? They have the Staples Centers, which is the Lakers Stadium, which is called the Crypto Center or Crypto.com Center. You see on all of the t-shirts of the UFC. So I know a lot of my viewers watch UFC. You see Crypto.com, like the branding. I think that deal was over $10 million for 10 years. And what's the number one watch sport right now? I think is like one of the top is like what, football, of course, and then you've got like UFC. So when I look at that, I'm like, if you could spend that much money for marketing and sponsorships, you're doing something right. You've got money in the bank. You've got runway. So when I saw that, it just kind of made me just be like, yeah, I'm gonna bag more of this crypto.com. So, anyways, let's take a look at the charts here, man. So, what was it? Let's look at a month ago. Check this out. So a month ago we were at, oh my god, a month ago we were at 7 cents. So I wanted to pull the trigger more, and I'm kind of pissed because like so I'm from Toronto, so it's difficult to get my money from Qcoin or different exchanges because Canadians don't have many places to trade. So I have the Palau ID. So I don't know if you guys use the Palau ID. So the Palau ID allows you to get a digital residency card, and you could start to use exchanges if you're from Canada or the US. You could use Qcoin. You could use almost any exchange except for Binance. So I had most of my stuff on my MetaMask wallet or whatever on BEP20 on Binance. So I didn't have access to to quickly buy the dip around. And look, this was not too long ago. This is crazy. Not too long ago. Um, yeah, it was like 7 cents, and I was like, I want to bag more. Hold on, I got to send a message to my partner Vamsy. Doing a live on Twitter. Come join. Shout out to my partner Vamsy. My partner Vamsy for Donut.finance. So if you guys want an update on Donut.finance, we're still building. We partnered up with a nice parachain company, and we're still building. We're still building on Donut.finance. You could open up a campaign right now, and we wanted to follow something that's easy, tangible, and easy to adopt, right? And that's why we built Donut.finance, because if you think about what we're building for Donut.finance, it's easy. It's easy to adopt because everyone needs help. Everyone needs money, whether you're in a bull market or bear market, whether you're in crypto, whether you're not in crypto, whether you're in stocks or whatever. Web2 users can easily onboard a campaign, create a campaign on Donut.finance without knowing anything about crypto, as well as a crypto side can come in and people can donate without crypto, with crypto, numerous ways, Apple Pay, Google Pay. So we wanted to make it easier for people to join and create a campaign on Donor.finance and get it easily adopted because it makes sense. You help someone, right? They get money. At the same time, if you're a token holder, your token appreciates because at the end of each campaign that closes, we do a buyback and burn. We do a buyback and burn upon each successful campaign close on Donor.finance. So on Donor.finance, campaign opens, you get funds, deflationary, we do a buyback and a burn. And then eventually when we open up staking, 1% of your stake. So let's say you get 13% staking APY on Donor.finance. You're actually getting 12 because 1% of your stake goes towards campaigns. Okay, so if let's say You know, hypothetically, 60% of the people that hold donor token are staking. 1% of their stake is going to campaigns. And what happens at the end of each campaign? We do a buyback and we do a burn. And we call that proof of campaign staking for Donut.finance. So I think Donut.finance is going to do well. The problem. I wouldn't say it's a problem. It's a good problem to have because we've paid for Donut.finance. We didn't go to any VCs. We didn't request money from other people to say help us build this. All four of us are entrepreneurs in Donut.finance, so we funded Donut.finance ourselves, and here we are today. The platform is built. It's on 4 chains: AVAX, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, and ARB. So, anyways, but tuning in on YouTube. Shout out to Kieran. Shout out to Callum. Shout out to Truck in All Day. Are you CRO too? No, I'm just in CRO. I've got CRO on Cronos chain and my crypto wallet, and then some on Qcoin floating around. So, like I said, I'm happy with my buy. What do I think Crypto.com will reach? Okay, my price target in the short for Crypto.com. You know what? Okay, it all depends on the momentum on how things are going. Okay, because the thing that I don't like right now is U.S. data, the U.S. data for savings rate. So in the previous bull run, let me pull this up here. 1 second here. U.S. data savings. Here, this is what I don't like right now. And I'll just so look. In 2021, let me look at this. This is not it. Okay, anyways, we're at personal savings rate for US citizens is 4.6. In 2021, it was 32%, 32 or 34%, okay? And in 2021, what was that? That was a DeFi summer. And you remember Bitcoin was like at 10,000 or 8,000 and went to 13,000, and then it just started to go up to 40,000 to all-time high. And it was a DeFi run. It was a huge run. But what was happening? People were getting checks, the stimulus checks. Money was being printed. People had a lot more money to spend and gamble, whether it was crypto, stocks, casinos, whatever. So the personal savings rate was about 32%. If you look at the stats here, so let me try and see. Oh, here, the charts. Here it is. From 2015 to 2024. So my prediction on, look here. So here in 2020, 32%, okay? In 2021, it was 26. And you guys remember in March 2021, right? Right after April, we had an all-time high for Bitcoin. And Bitcoin boomed. And then we fell off the charts. And now we're at, so compare 26% down to, that's garbage. Anyways, this is July of 2020, 2.9%. So personal savings rate as percentage of disposable income in the United States from June 2015 to 2024. So a lot more people had money to gamble with, right? And right now, the only thing that I see that's positive for the market is Solana and the inflows of Bitcoin. But once Bitcoin dominance goes down, and this is what I'm hoping, and okay, the effect of Trump and Kamala to me didn't matter. Yes, in short, yes, for Trump, because Trump was really pro crypto. But I think it's irrelevant, because once the government starts printing and they change policies, they change the economy of, okay, we need people to spend more. They're going to start printing more money. Loans, basis points are going to drop. People are going to spend. Interest rates are already going down, right? They dropped 50 basis points, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago. So that's on the positive news. Inflation has to go down once they start printing. And that's whether Trump administration or whether it was Kamala. then I think the altcoins are going to run. Bitcoin dominance is going to go down a little bit, and this is where I see CRO is gonna boom, because that'll bring us into, like, let's say quarter one, end of quarter one to Q2 of 2025, and I think crypto.com is gonna just be a monster, a huge monster. Because look, you've got 100 million people out there with a tangible product, a credit card that is branded. You've got the Lakers Stadium, you've got Philadelphia 76ers, you've got the UFC. Their eyes are everywhere. Okay, marketing is top notch, on point. The crypto community is happy. Like, if you look at Twitter, everyone, well, my feed on Twitter is just crypto.com, CRO, because the algorithm is just shilling me and showing me CRO crypto.com. So it's huge, it's massive. So I think, okay, we're at 21 cents right now. What do I think it's gonna pump to? And I hate doing price predictions. And this, I think it really depends on what. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments. I just really think what depends is Bitcoin. If Bitcoin continues to rally, like, let's say, okay, we're at 90,000 roughly, we're at 88,000. So let's say Bitcoin goes 125 and more people keep shilling Cronos. I think we're going to see an easy 40 cents in Q1. Hopefully, hopefully. And then as we get closer to this Bitcoin ETF, I mean, this Cronos, this CRO ETF, and it's real, and we see the inflows. Okay, because Cronos is global. The great thing, okay, and here's the difference. Like, I'm not saying Binance is bad, but you know what happened with CZ? He went to jail for, not for dumping or anything. It's just he didn't follow, like, policies in different countries, right? So you have rules and regulations wherever you want to list, wherever you want to do business, and the difference with Binance and Cronos chain and the crypto company is they comply. They comply with the countries. They do things by law. If Canada wants to see this, they submit all the forms, the documents, to get the lawyers involved, and that's what allowed them to grow to this point, right? For crypto.com, they complied. They did all their homework. They did the research. They're in every country. Like, if you think about how many people have the crypto.com card, 100 million, 100 million people, like that is just wow. So that's what made me keep buying more, Cronos, right? But we were in a bear market, and the fear was real. Like, we had a long bear market. I still think we're in a bear market for altcoins, but for Bitcoin, it's just inflows of institutions, right? Because now you got Trump administration. You have Trump there. Okay, so Trump's president. What has Trump said? And the media and Elon owns X. Elon Musk owns X. So he's just shilling it like Donald Trump. Donald Trump. What did Donald Trump say? That Treasury. We're gonna have Bitcoin Treasury. We're gonna have it as the global currency. I'm gonna make America the Bitcoin capital. Okay. So you got El Salvador buying as much Bitcoin as they can. You have other countries adopting Bitcoin. So now what are they going to do? It's like the race to gold, but it's the race to Bitcoin. And especially with the scarcity of how much Bitcoin is out there, 21 million. And you've got what? BlackRock, Abit, and ARK Investments being like, and Binance probably the top holders for Bitcoin ETF or Bitcoin in general. And now it's kind of like, okay, it's the race to holding as much Bitcoin as you can. Like, it's kind of reminds me of AI. Like, the scarcity of Bitcoin is the scarcity of AI chips, right? For Nvidia, right? Because Russia right now, because of the sanctions for Russia, Russia can't get any Nvidia chips, which sucks. Even China can't get as much, so they're hurting for AI. AI is going to be a huge thing, man. Huge thing for let me read some of these comments. It's gonna be huge for Hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás, Modesto Argan? Hola. ¿Cómo estás, amigo? Um, hola, hola. at least my 20% is locked up. We'll be paying more, but I can't touch any of it for another 130-ish more days. Hopefully I don't miss the opportunity to get my piece of the pie. Love your vids, by the way. Thanks. Hey, Cooper, I've got a question for you. So I've got mine locked up staking, and I've staked, man, it's been almost 2 years, okay? No, not 2 years, maybe about a year and a half. And I get, so you locked up for 20%. I think I locked up, I don't know. I just locked, but I think I get 8%. But is it a 28-day bonding period? Because if I'm not mistaken, Cronos is built on, what is that chain? Is it Tendermint? But yeah, I don't know how long mine's locked up for. Hopefully it's not locked up that long, man. I hope not. Anyway, Trump's trucking all day said Trump said America will have a Bitcoin strategic reserve and to help lower U.S. debt. Yeah. Okay, so when you talk about like politics and there's a lot of sensitive people out there. Like for me, okay, so my kid's in track, and a lot of people don't like Trump. Okay, but I know the crypto people were like, hell yeah, like fuck yeah, Trump all day, right? But if you think about the stuff that politics like abortion, women rights, laws, racism, when people hear me say hell yeah, I want Trump to win, they look at me with like this weird look, like Trump, like what's wrong with you? But here, like for me, it's just, and I tell them up 100%. I'm like, man, it's just okay. Trump for my financial gains of digital assets because they don't understand crypto. I'm like, digital assets, crypto, Bitcoin. That's why I wanted Trump to win. As well as some other things. I won't say, because then it gets too political, right? And people start to look at you and they start to judge you. So anyways, that's my take for Trump. But I'm just reading the comments here. Estoy muy bien. Gracias. Mine was the 20% lockup. CDC offered for a few months directly on their earn profile for a year. Okay, so you're locked up for a year. Yeah, so for me, like I said, I don't think we're going to run up too high until things look better. And like I said, like this is the main thing that I'm looking at, right? So in March of 2021, personal savings rate as a percentage of disposable income was 26.1%. And that was the previous all-time high. And people had money. And like I said, the only thing that's coming in is the inflows of Bitcoin. Institutions are buying. Other countries are probably saying, let's get the Bitcoin. Let's get Bitcoin. So Bitcoin starts to rise. All coins slowly start to rise. But Cronos, on the other hand, I think there's FOMO for Cronos. Because now even institutions and retail institutions, VCs, everyone out in the world is saying, what's coming up next? A Cronos, a CRO ETF. Okay, so people are going to want to start to accumulate to offer this into their portfolio, right? They want solid coins. And everyone knows that Cronos is in a rug. Well, okay, not 100% because you never know. Like maybe they'll pull an FTX, but the chance of that is very low. Like you've got 100 million users. You've seen their track record. Crypto.com has been around for a very long time. They're complying. They're playing by the rules. So that's where I get it. That's why I'm like, you know what? Like Crypto.com is here for good. Shout out to Satoshi Booming. Shout out to Satoshi Booming's back. Yeah, man, I'm back. I took a mini break. I was we're in the bear market, Satoshi and Booming, and I just started to concentrate on real life business, like kind of like when 2021 was pretty crazy, money was flying around. Like I'm the type, like I'd be out on the street and if a bottle of water, because things were like I was making so much money in 2021. Like my Gala nodes, you guys know I own Gala nodes, and my Gala nodes, I think because I've got a lot of Gala nodes. I think at one time I was making like $13,000 a day in Gala. So I was like, I'd be the type, I'd be on the street. If a bottle of water costs $100, I'd be buying it because I'm thirsty. So, anyways, and then we hit the bear market, and I didn't get wrecked. I diversified. I put a lot of money into different type of assets and investments, properties, cash, etc. Some vacations, but everyone got wrecked. Everyone's portfolio kind of went down 90%. But here we are today. We're still here, and we're still here, and now we're pumping. So, but man, yeah, like it was tough, man. It was tough. The bear market. It still is tough because a lot of people's portfolios really haven't peaked. They're maybe up 10, 15%. But if you hold CRO, shout out to the CRO fam. If you hold CRO, if you hold VeChain, if you hold Cardano. So I made a video on Cardano, and Cardano, I know Satoshi Booming, you make videos on Cardano. Shout out to Satoshi. Go follow him on YouTube. He makes videos, great videos on Cardano and VeChain. Satoshi and I go way back from the VeChain days. I used to talk a lot about VeChain. I still hold VeChain, not as big of a bag. I wish I held on to VeChain when it reached 28 cents, and that'd be man, I'd be laughing low. Well, you never buy the bottom and sell the top, so I think that sucks, but it is what it is, right? It's crypto. Shout out to Taz. I didn't want to say your real name out here. Shout out to Tassie Boy. What's going on, Tassie Boy? Sorry, buddy, couldn't join you on XChat. No problem. Yeah, I'm using a different streaming software, and the streaming software is it kind of integrates all the chats into one place. So hopefully, I can see everyone's chat. Got that green tea, haha. Yeah, that green tea. Green tea. Check it out. I'm drinking coffee right now because, man, I had some serious food coma today, man. I haven't had dim sum in a while. I went for dim sum, and whatever they put in that dim sum, man, made me fall asleep. Good old dim sum in Toronto. If you guys ever been to Toronto, like Toronto has good food. Let's take a look at the markets here. So Cronos is retracing a little bit. I think the all-time high it went up to 21.6. 21.6. Damn. Yeah, 21. My VeChain bag was massive. And okay, let me tell you my previous bag. And I regret a little bit. Okay, so I bought Ethereum at $190. $190. Okay. My lowest ETH price was 180. I wanted 8 validators. So it was like, no. Anyways, I had it like enough for 8 validators. So 8 validators times 32. So my ETH bag was huge. My ETH bag right now would be probably about $600,000. Shout out to Ruben. $1? Okay. I think Cronos is going to reach $1 easy. Do I think soon? Like I said, Ruben, I think it depends on this. Okay. Personal savings rate, disposable income. This is going to help out the markets a lot. But at the same time, I think what's going to help is like Trump, obviously. Hopefully. Okay. You know what's going to pump the markets even more? If he fires Gary Gensler and he puts someone else in position. Okay. And JD Vance and Charles Hoskinson from Cardano says he's going to be helping out Trump with digital assets and other things. If that happens, if those two things happen, boom, we're going to the moon. On top of that, and the personal savings rate, it doesn't really matter who was in position. Like I said, like whether it was Kamala Harris or Trump, because eventually they're going to have to stimulate the economy. Eventually they're going to have to pour money in. The world can't operate like this because we're already on the right track. Like I said, 2 weeks ago they dropped it 50 basis points. Okay, interest rates. And I think this is the second part where they have to work on is once they start to print money, more money is going to come in. People are going to start to gamble. But right now, people are saving. Like you go buy groceries, it's tough. Like even in Toronto, it's tough buying groceries. Like for the average person, the average family, and so like the prices in Canada and Toronto are they're okay, like groceries. But I went to the U.S. I went to Florida, Miami. I'm always in the U.S. But when I compare like the food prices, like to Canadians, I'm like, I looked at like a pack of bacon and I'm like, damn. I look at eggs, I look at milk. Um, I was in Vegas and I went to this Filipino, it's called Seafood City. And I don't know if you guys know longanisa, whatever. It's a sausage, it's a Filipino sausage. But, anyways, over here in Canada, it's like $3.50 Canadian. I went over there in Vegas and it was $10 US. And I was like, holy shit, this is real. Anyways, you're gonna need a lot of CRO to buy a pack of longanisa, but CRO for me, a dollar I think is easy because we reached the all-time high, and Bitcoin is gonna run. Bitcoin is gonna run. A lot of countries are gonna start getting it like gold. It's the new modern digital era of gold. We're 2025. Trump has 4 years in here, right? Okay, and he's pro Bitcoin alongside of some of the most influential people like Elon Musk, and Elon's in Doge, and whatever Elon's going to do, and I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out and says, hey, if you buy in Bitcoin one of these cyber trucks, you'll get a discount or something. Like, like Elon's going to pump the markets like crazy. Elon, Trump, Joe Rogan, all of them. So Trucking All Day says, I understand CRO platform will trade. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. Like I said, some of my friends, they called me and they were like, should I get into this? And I hate giving like the financial advice, especially if you got friends that aren't into crypto. Like, if I was talking to Satoshi Boomin or Tassie Boy here that's watching my live, 100%, I'd be like, yeah, for sure, get into CRO. But my friends that aren't into crypto, they don't understand the risks and how cyclical it is, how the cycles work. You got to learn to get in low, and hopefully you take profits, or you take a little bit of profits. You keep your moon bag, and once you've got your moon bag, you're in the free and the clear because you already sold your position. You've got your initial return on investment back, and now you're just riding house money. So we understand that. But if you didn't do that, you also understand that crypto is very risky, and we always go into these cycles, and sometimes you get wrecked. Like how many of you guys have been wrecked on a meme coin and blew $1,000 or $2,000 or $500 and just kind of went like, another day, go back to work. I've done it 100 times. But when I talk to some of my friends that ask me like, should I get into this? Even like some of my my son's track friends, their parents. And I talk to them, and I talk to them different, you know what I mean? Like, not like when I'm talking to you guys, I talk to them different because they don't understand crypto. If I were going to say, guys, if you understand CRO and Cronos chain and what a Cronos chain does and how it provides transactions and what an ETF is, a CRO ETF, and it's coming, look at the past. Look at what Bitcoin did. Bitcoin announced an ETF. It was the talk of the year. The ETFs are coming. The ETFs are coming. What's coming next for CRO? CRO ETFs. CRO ETFs. Like, it's already on the roadmap, and I don't think Chris from CRO would lie. Chris from CRO, like, they've been straight up. They've been good to the community. Yeah, there was a lot of FUD. People were saying, oh, need more marketing, need more this, need more that. But at the end of the day, they pleased the Cronos community. And check this out, guys. Like, this is fire. This is fire. And on top of that, Trucking All Day says, yeah. So you're going to have derivatives. You're going to have the CRO ETF. Hey, someone explain to me about the quarterly burns that are going to happen based on revenue. Did they actually publish something like a percentage that we are going to burn 1% of revenue that have come in? Because Crypto.com makes a lot of money, and that's why I bought a lot of Crypto.com. I bought a lot of Crypto.com because they make a lot of money. You could see that if you have the resources to spend 10 million on UFC for a contract, you change the Lakers stadium name to the Crypto.com Center, man, you got a lot of money for sure. So I'm wondering on the quarterly burns. So now it essentially makes Cronos deflationary because they're not an inflationary, like they don't have any inflation. They have a fixed supply and they burned. I think they were 50 billion, now they're about 32 billion. So it's deflationary. And this is everything that you want in crypto. You want something that has a fixed supply. It doesn't have inflation. Okay, the X mark here, which is kind of like sucks, is they have a large supply, but they're making a lot of money, so they can burn. Even with that big supply, if they're making revenue and they're saying that they're gonna be able to burn, then that's good news because they make a lot of money. But what is that percentage? If you guys know, someone put that in the chat. So, but like I said, I want to pull the trigger around here, 7 cents, but I had my money stuck on PancakeSwap on BEP20 chain, and I couldn't sell. I couldn't swap it because I had to go through a bridge, move over to this wallet, move it over to Qcoin or something. And I don't like buying on crypto.com because you have to report a lot of your stuff, especially like if you're a Canadian citizen, because if I'm pretty sure anything over 10,000, they'll probably have to report it to like the IRS here in Canada, which is called CRA. So sucks, but I try and not use crypto.com or have majority of my holdings, but my CRO there is like locked. It's locked into 2x amount. Yeah, Tassie Boy says, remember my VeChain bag. So my previous bag, like I was saying, my previous bag was Ethereum, a big bag of Ethereum. It would have been worth like $600,000 now, 700,000. My VeChain bag, well, it's at 2 cents now, so it's not worth that much. I had a lot. I had a ThunderX node. That was nice to have. I really shilled that bag because it was like one of my main holdings. Cardano, I held a lot of Cardano. I sold Cardano at 25 cents, and I rebought back about half a year ago. Cardano at 25 cents again, so it's not too bad. Like I sold Cardano at 25 cents, but I got in Cardano at 5 or 10 cents. Then I sold it for 5x, and then I got back into Cardano just recently because I looked at the on-chain analytics of Cardano, and let me take a look at some on-chain analytics. So let's go over here, and I'll show you some on-chain analytics for crypto.com. CRO. It might not show up because crypto.com. Oh, sorry. Here, Cronos. What does it say? Okay, there you go. Hopefully you guys can see this on-chain analytics. All right, like look how bullish this is. Total amount of holders. Okay, this is crazy. The total amount of holders. Holy jeez, that's a lot. 316,000 for Cronos. And look at this line. This is what you like to see. And I see a lot of chains, a lot of just a lot of blockchains, a lot of crypto companies. The amount of holders is like this, decline, because we're in a bear market. But they ain't no such thing as a bear market for Cronos. Shout out to Cronos family. Check this out. This thing's on fire. Let me go to a 3-month chart and see what we had a dip from 316,000 holders to 313. Let's look. Let's scroll up for the last year to see how it looks. Okay. This isn't bad. So in November 2023, wow, like it's just amazing. Even in a bear market, okay, so this was a huge bear market. In November of 2023, we had 302,000 total amount of holders, CRO. And look at this grow. It just kept growing and growing and growing. So they're doing something right, you know what I mean? Like amazing. Shout out to Cronos and the team. This is where it gets interesting too. Um, the CRO supply. Hopefully, I can scroll this out so you can see. Let me move over my screen because I'm streaming vertical right now, so hopefully you can see this. Okay, here. Yeah, you guys could see this. So this is this the supply distribution? Okay, this is a cool chart. Supply distribution. So anyone that holds, here's a good chart. Okay, whales. So if you hold 1 million CRO, this is what the whales have been doing. You could see that they've been accumulating for the last year because in the last year we've gone up for whales. So anyone that would hold, I wouldn't say this is a whale. Okay, a whale is, yeah, 1 million CRO holders. If you hold 1 million CRO, this is what their wallets are doing. So this supply distribution means it's not the amount of addresses, but this means anyone that has 100,000 CRO to 1 million CRO, this is what they're doing. And you could clearly see from November 23rd, November 9th, 2023, up until November, on average, the whales have been accumulating and growing. So that's good. Okay, the mega whales have had a drop. They took profit, but they sold. Oh my God, the mega whales got wrecked. So the mega whales, some of the mega whales that held 1 million to 10 million CRO, oh, they're hurting now because you could see that they dropped off right in the middle here from June of 2024. Oh my goodness. These guys got wrecked because they probably sold at 7 cents. What was CRO? Let's check this out. In July, CRO was, okay, the beginning of August, CRO was, let's go to max. In July, CRO was 9 cents, okay? So the mega whales that held up to 10 million, they took a huge loss because they sold up here. Oh my God, they got wrecked for 9 cents, and now we're at 21 cents. If they held on, oh my goodness. This is just on chain. And remember, guys, this is just ERC version. This is a great chart. This is a surprising chart because most chains and most companies would have probably sold in the bear market because of fear. They would have said, we need some reserves, we need some money to pay the employees, or we're going to go broke, dead in the water, and we're not going to exist tomorrow. So check this out. Look at the graph from January 22nd of 24. That's pretty solid. From November down here, you can see that these mega whales have continued to rise. So, wow. And this has been steady. So anyone with 1 billion coins has been pretty flat, except for a slight drop here. But I'm happy with this. If you want to see the most bullish chart on on-chain analytics, you guys got to look at Pepe. If you have this tool called Sentiment, it looks at on-chain analytics of mostly ERC. But we could look at the funding rate. The funding rate means, so if we could pull up the funding rate for CRO pretty much tells us exchange funding rate. Tells us what the market is doing. Are we going long? Are we going short? So let's look at the funding rate for funding rates aggregated by exchanges. Okay, let's take a look at. Let's look at the exchanges. Okay, let's put it down here. Oh, wow. Okay. As of November 10th, everyone and their grandmother is going long for CRO. Damn. Look at this. Everyone and their mother. Look at this big green. Okay. So when I look at this, I would do a contrarian trade if I look at this. Because let me pair this up with price, and I'll show you what I mean. So let's look at price. Let's add price to this chart here, price. And I'm going to put it beside funding rate. Okay. And hopefully you could zoom in here. And typically so the price is pumping. The price is just massive. And here you have the funding rates aggregated by exchange, meaning what is the market doing? The market, everyone and their mother is going long. Okay. So everyone is longing CRO. And typically when I would look at this chart and I'm going to do a trade, I'd open up TradingView and I'd look at this and I'd be like, oh my God, the whole market is long. I'm going to do a contrarian trade and I'm going to do the opposite of this and I'll probably short. So I'd probably put in a short based on this. But would I right now? No, I wouldn't short the market because I was going to short CRO at 15 cents. And it's good that I didn't because we went to 20. And I think because like CRO is just pumping. It's just you've got way too much bullish news that's coming for 2025. It's good that okay, so it all started with Google Cloud. And the Google Cloud partnership was massive because if you didn't read the news about Cronos, Google is now a validator, one of 32. So there's only 32 validators or something like that for Cronos chains, and Google Cloud is actually one of those validators. So that started the news. And then they came out with the roadmap. So if you're just tuning in, then they came with a roadmap of now you're going to be able to buy stocks, derivatives, and in the near future, we're going to have the Cronos ETF. That's what skyrocketed all this stuff, what's happening. And on top of that, they announced the burn. So did anyone comment about the burn rate? I'm curious to know about what's going on with the burn rate. So, anyways, check this out. You've got funding rates aggregated by the exchanges. So this means that all the CRO on different exchanges, whether it's Binance, whether it's OKX, the whole market is longing CRO. So this green wick up here, everyone's longing it. And like I said, when I look at this, I'd probably short it. So anyways, you guys do what you got to do. If you short it and you make money, congratulations. Because when you short CRO, you're pretty much accumulating because you want to grab more CRO. And hopefully you guys are successful. Let me take a look at what's another indicator you want to see for CRO. Let's take a look at total amount of holders. We saw that up here. Total amount of holders is crazy. Like this is the total amount of holders for Cronos. And Cronos is just kicking it, killing it. Like this is just amazing. Let's look at by number of addresses, supply. Nah, let's top holders. We can look at top holders, exchange users, funds. You want to look at long-term holders, age consumers. Let's take a look at this, see if it populates. Not much to see there. Let's look at development activity. Development activity. Let's look at socials. Because I know Twitter is pretty crazy right now. Okay, the amount of Twitter followers and okay, let's look at socials. So Twitter followers, let's look at social volume. Twitter followers and a lot. Oh my goodness, Twitter followers. Holy shit. Okay, I look at this. Cronos is going to the moon, boys. Cronos is going to the moon. I got my moon boots on. Let's put Twitter followers for the last 7 days and the last 24 hours. Okay, and the 7 days. Okay, let's zoom into this. Okay, the amount of Twitter followers, this is on a time period for 1 year. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the FOMO is real. When I see this, This is the most positive chart that I could see that tells me CRO is going to go to the moon. Look at the volume here, right here. Oh my goodness. Wow. You know what? I think it's that ETF. Like I said, the Bitcoin ETF. And this is kind of like a shocker. Like, okay, we all know that people have applied for an XRP ETF, etc. Okay, so if CRO comes out with the ETF before all of these other altcoin ETFs, I think CRO is going to be super massive. And I'm not going to say $5 or whatever. I'm pretty sure we'll see $5 in years to come. But what makes sense is like, do I have my wallet on me? Is okay, so you shout out to the people in XRP. So people with XRP, there's a lot of haters about XRP because their argument is XRP doesn't do anything. XRP is just a meh. Like they say it's used for cross-border transactions, but what does XRP do? It doesn't really have any utility, right? So that's people's complaints, but they have such a strong community. So the difference between XRP and Cronos chain is, like I said, you got a tangible product. You have a credit card. You have something that people can use. And if you think about their business model, so everyone, like, shout out to the Cronos chain, Cronos family that you guys are watching. You probably have the Cronos card. It's probably, they pay for your Netflix, they pay for your Amazon Prime, they pay for your Spotify. How do you pay for that? You pay for it through using their platform to move your funds there. So when you pay for your Spotify using that credit card, you have to load it. What happens every time you load it? There's a transaction fee. You got 100 million users doing that, getting free Spotify, but you also have a transaction fee. If you look at the market rate of, okay, in the summer I sold BNB for, at the price it was 720. Okay, that was the market rate, not on the Cronos market. On the market rate on Binance, it was 720. When I wanted to do a market sell, because I was buying, you know what? I actually bought this jacket, okay, this Burberry jacket. And the BNB token was 723. But if I wanted to market sell it on Cronos, they'd give me 700. So think about that. Sometimes you just want to load. You whales, I just want to load the card, top up the card, go buy, spend, pay for their Spotify. If you got 100 million users, I'm not saying 100 million users are doing exactly what I did. Some of them would put a limit by, but the amount of transactions and the fees, every time you swipe, you tap, you load, you upload, you pay for your Spotify, you pay for your Netflix, you pay for your whatever. Cronos is making money. On top of that, Cronos chain. So it's huge. And, then they've got derivatives, they got stocks, they got ETFs. Like, I would say it's one of the best platforms out there, right? Like, if you look at Binance, Binance went huge. Does Cronos has a metaverse, they have NFTs. The only thing that I don't see, maybe Cronos doesn't have a launch pad, but I'm pretty sure they could incubate if they want. They could probably do so much because they got so much money now. So, anyways, the amount of Twitter followers for Cronos is huge. Check this out. 2.84 million. Wow. Let's take a look at, let's change this date to the last week. The last month. Wow. So the amount of followers went from October 2.83 to the top here 2.85 million. And growing. Because the great thing about Cronos now, the Cronos army, the CRO fam is just going to grow massively. Yeah, they're going to get bigger and bigger, especially this ETF. Everyone's going to be shilling Cronos. And on top of that, I think they have a CRO rewards. So something like, I forgot what the new referral program is for Crypto.com. Derivatives, indicators, total supply. Let's take a look at total supply for Cronos. Okay, look. I made some on-chain analytics about some other companies before, and this is what you always want to see. because once you get into, and if you're new to crypto, and you could always ask me, hey Ron, can you take a look at the on-chain analytics for this company, and I'll show you. The total supply is 100 billion, and it's always been flat, and that's what you want to see. Whether it's 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion, but you don't want to see something that has inflation, right? That the supply keeps going up and up and up, because that's a red flag. Once you see supply that goes up, you kind of question. You say, well, how much supply do they have, and how much are they going to pull out? Because some chains might say, well, we have a total of 1 billion tokens circulating, but our max supply is 6 billion. But based on the board, everyone, as a collective decision, we're not going to touch it. The extra 5 million, we cannot touch. But we know that's never going to happen. If they want to touch it, they're going to touch it. And if they want to dump on retail and they need the money, they will do that. So this is what you really want to see in a chain. Whether it's 100 billion or 30 billion or 20 billion, you just want to see the total supply flat. Because if they say they have 100 billion, they have 100 billion. Yeah. Shout out to Travis. And they also that, like, check that out. They burn 70 billion. So this is wrong because there's like 32 billion. Hey, Travis, so are they, like, with the quarterly revenue that they make, what is the percent that they're going to burn? That's my question. So anyways, what I'm showing here is this is what you want to see. And this is wrong. Like the on-chain analytics for this 100 billion, it's because right now on CoinGecko, it's like you could see that the info here is 30. The total supply is something like, yeah. Oh wow, circulating is 27 billion. So this keeps going down. Total supply is 30 billion, but circulating is 27. Anyways, I think this is gonna be huge, Zero. Trucking all day says this might be okay. Bitcoin dips down to 88,000. I got a notification. Trucking all day says this might sound 2021 ish, but I hope Robinhood will list CRO. I think so. I think a lot of companies are going to list CRO because they're going to look at how legit they are. Because if you're in X amount of countries and you got 4,000 employees, 100 million global customers, they're in every country. They're working with every government to comply with their rules, their laws, their tax laws. So Robinhood, yeah, for sure. I wouldn't doubt if we see them on Robinhood. Let's take a look at the on-chain again. Let's look at the socials again. Where's the socials here? Socials. Trending social rank. Let's put the trending here. Okay. Parabolic, boys. The trending social rank for CRO. Wow. Check this out. Yeah, this is going to go to the moon. And it just started because I think, like, even at 20 cents, people are going to look at this, even if they can make a short-term gain, because those keywords of CRO ETF 2025, like those three words, CRO ETF 2025, is going to pump your bag. Not financial advice, but do your own research. Social volume AI. Let's check this out. Project trends. Social volume AI. I don't use a lot of these tools. I use more the tools on looking at supply and the inflow and the outflow of tokens. So active social. Do they have a big Telegram group? Let's check it out. Active social Telegram users? No, doesn't it? Oh yeah, it exists. Okay, we have the social volume for AI. Obviously spiked, but yeah. Anyways, Cronos is on a tear. Cronos is on a tear. Gotta love it. Let's see what else is pumping besides Cronos. What else do you guys hold? Let's go to cryptocurrency. Let's go to my portfolio. Notcoin is doing pretty well. Happy Cat, I think ATP, what was it? Yeah. This coin pumped like crazy. Largest gainers, yeah. ACT, sorry. ACT went crazy. ACT went parabolic. Let me fix my screen here. Sorry. There you go. Is it time to sell CRO? Okay, let me show you this chart here. This is the exchange rate data. So if you can see this green line here, right here. This is the on-chain analytics of funding rates aggregated by exchange for crypto.com. So that means every CRO asset on the exchanges, mainly on ERC20, because most of the exchanges outside of Cronos are Ethereum based, right? So this just shows the data of what the market is doing, let's say on OKX, on Bitmart, on BitBuy, on Binance. What are they doing? They're all going long and the price is pumping. So typically, if I see this, there's a lot of greed in the market. And I like to do a contrarian trade, meaning like an opposite of what the market is doing. Because if everyone and their grandmother is going long, I probably want to go the opposite direction and short it. Okay, but I also said that at 15 cents. I was going to go short at 15 cents, hoping to accumulate more CRO. And that was 2 days ago. If I did that, I would have got wrecked because we went from 15 cents to 21 cents. So for me, I wouldn't risk it. I'm just going to sit on my hands, hodl onto my CRO, and also wait for Trump to do its thing, fire Gary Gensler, get more Bitcoin, put people in place, interest rates drop, CRO ETF starts to get closer and closer and closer. The platform continues to get built with derivatives and stocks on CRO. They get listed in more countries. Then I think you'd regret selling now at 21 cents. If you could play the long game, good. Maybe if you bought at 2 cents and you've 10x'd, I don't know. Everyone's situation is different. But for me, I think I'm just going to sit on my hands and hold CRO. Wait until we get closer to the ETFs. Wait until Bitcoin. Because, like I said, Bitcoin dominance is high. We need Bitcoin dominance to kind of level off, let the altcoins run up. Because that's what happened every cycle. Bitcoin dominance starts high. Altcoins start to follow. Whether you look at the 2020 DeFi bull run, it happened. Bitcoin dominance was high. Bitcoin ran. After that was the summer DeFi. All of the altcoins start to explode. Okay, and that typically like happens all the time, right? It's so cyclical. It just always works that way. So, anyways, you go from Bitcoin being so dominant, let the altcoins run. Because the altcoins haven't even run. You still have Polkadot at like $5. My one of my bigger bags is Polkadot, and it's still at $5. The all-time high was 50, 55. My Kusama bag was around 700. Now Kusama's like $20. But still, the altcoins haven't run. A lot of people still haven't made their money on their altcoins. So once you start to see altcoins run, then good. And just take a look at this data. Like I said, if you just joined my stream, this is one of the main factors that I'm looking at. Okay? COVID happened. What happened? They started to print checks, stimulus checks. People got money. People had money to gamble because the personal savings rate. They had more money in their pockets to spend and gamble. Over here in March of 2021, when Bitcoin hit its all-time high in April, people had 26% more disposable income. Now, what you have is about 4 to 5% disposable income, right? Which sucks. So you don't have much money to gamble. Once the government decides to start to say, okay, let's stimulate the economy, let's start to print, let's keep dropping interest rates, let's the bank rate start to lend more money at a lower rate, then we see altcoins start to run because everything is on par right now. You got Trump in there, pro Bitcoin. The inflation hopefully is going down. Interest rates have already dropped 50 basis points. So, sorry, let me read what you're saying. Yes, but thinking after 7 days, 187% increase would be a good time to sell and buy again at a lower price. Hard to say. Like I said, if you take a risk, because I said that at 15 cents. Okay, I said that at 15 cents. I said, hey, I want to accumulate more because my average buy was at 5 cents and I'm already 3x. Am I happy with that? No, but because I'm looking at more long term, because we still haven't run yet. Altcoins haven't run. Bitcoin's running because of the inflows from ETFs, countries getting in. So Bitcoin dominance is high. So everything's going to Bitcoins. The only ones that are pumping are like your lottery meme coin, Solana. Solana is pumping because that's where you buy all your meme coins. So Solana is getting the transactions. Everyone's dumping into Solana meme coins. Dump 2, 3, 4, 5 Solana to win the lottery on a meme coin. So that's what's happening with Solana, and that's why Solana is like all-time high, 200, 220. But altcoins haven't run. Like I said, you look at Polkadot. Polkadot hasn't run. XRP really hasn't run. Cardano is running, which is good. But it's still like, because for me, when I look at it, I'm like, this bull run should surpass previous all-time highs. So when I look at my previous bags, like Gala, I think Gala will eventually get to pass the 78 cents. So I'm a big believer in Gala, minus the internal lawsuits that are going between the two holders for Gala. But this is what I think is going to happen with Gala, if you guys hold Gala, and maybe save this recording. I think Gala will probably do some kind of front run manipulation of price based on scarcity and FOMO, because they did it with the last run with the Gala nodes. In order to get a Gala node, because everyone was euphoric. Everyone was euphoric about making passive income with Gala nodes. Everyone that had a Gala node would be on Twitter saying, I'm making $500 a day, $600 a day with one Gala node. So people were doing the math saying, if I buy one Gala node worth $70,000 at the time, and I'm making $600 a day times 30 days for a month, you're making $18,000. It's going to take maybe 3 to 4 months until I get my ROI back, because Gala is at 78 cents. And then obviously we hit a bear market and went to nothing. And everyone who bought a Gala node kind of got wrecked because they paid up to 100,000. Because now, like, the last sale was like around 100,000 or 90,000. So I think, because Gala reminds me of like CRO, the community is so big. So Benefactor is a CEO of Gala. He opened up a Discord, a Telegram channel for his new Trez Taps game. He opened it, and within a week he had 4 million people in there. So when you have a list that big, similar to Cronos and Crypto.com, you could do so much with that list. You could remarket, you could add products, whatever, and make easily 10 million if you wanted to. So the point being is, I think this is what Gala is going to do. They're going to bring out a product that's going to bring scarcity, whether it's an NFT. People are going to want it, and the only way to get it is if you buy it with Gala. You buy it with Gala, they front run the price a little bit in the bull market. Gala's going to go surpass its all-time high along with all the other altcoins. That's the time to get out. Once you start seeing people buying and talking about passive income, saying you can make money. I'm making $300 a day. I bought this NFT that I play in this farm game. People are going to start buying it. New retail money comes in because stimulus checks are being printed. They come into the market, and that's what we need. We need dumb money to come into the market. The dumb money comes into the market. The smart ones that are watching this channel are going to be like, time to cash out, because profit is profit. And I always say this too, profit is profit. Take your profit. Even if, like I said, do the moonbag strategy. Get your initial out and just ride the house. And then take profit along the way up. You're never going to buy the bottom. You're never going to sell the top. Get your moonbag out. Sell at increments. So Samuel, if you're wanting to sell, for me, I wouldn't sell my whole bag. I'd probably sell a small portion because you already got your ROI back. For me, then I'll put some money into some other plays that have a smaller market cap, because you want to get into the smaller market cap at 5 million, 10 million, 15 million, and hopefully it runs up to 100 million. But ideally, you want to get into like a 1 million to 2 million market cap kind of company. And hopefully it becomes like a Cronos, and you get your return on investment back, and now you're riding your moon bag. Hopefully that moon bag goes to whatever it is, and you play it out that way. So anyways, I got to get off the stream. I got to eat 7:30 already. But shout out to the Cronos family, shout out to V-Chain family, shout out to Gala family, shout out to Tassie boy, everyone who's watching. And yeah, man, I'll speak to you guys in my group. Give me a follow on YouTube. Taxanian later out. I'll see you guys later, and keep accumulating that Cronos, because Cronos is going to the moon.